Hi everyone, my name is Rick. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a little more fast-paced because I have 26 Hoyas to show you guys. They're little Hoyas that I recently got. They're either rooting, they're fully rooted and waiting to be moved up to a bigger pot, but they're all in basically 2-inch, little plastic cups. So I'm going to show those all to you guys today, so stick around for that. Let me just show you a few things that are happening here in the gate entrance pathway here. There's a lot of buds. I want to show you the seed pods and some of the flowers. I think I have a few flowers. A lot of them open during the week in between videos, so I should have make a habit of coming out here and doing some filming these buds and these flowers to show you guys on the weekends, but I missed doing that, so I'm going to start doing that from now on. But I'm going to show you pictures of what the flowers actually looked like when they're in perfect form. So let me just start out here, and this is that species Ache. This is closing up. As you can see, it's not that pretty. This one is fully reverted back. It just opened up, I think, this morning. Over here there's more buds. They're all popping up all over the place. There's a this is a Hoya verticillata Hendersonia. I think I showed it last time, and the bud is getting close to open, so that's probably 3-4 days out from opening. And this is the Hoya CAUDATA Sumatra. It's a lovely little Hoya, very forgiving and a constant bloomer for me in the warmer months. So I think it has 3 peduncles developing that I'm aware of. So there's one. Oh, there's one back there, and there's another one somewhere else. But another one that's doing some interesting stuff here is this Hoya corneri. And this one is an interesting leaf form that I got from Nata at Hoyas. And she has it labeled corneri big leaves. But from the corneris that I have, these are actually smaller leaves, which I do prefer. They're a lot cuter. And the buds on this, I don't know if you can see them. They're probably 2 or 3 days from opening. See if I can focus on here. These are really cute buds. And they're a darker color than most corneris I've seen online. And up here I have my my Hoya Amarillo. It's a lacanosa, and it was doing really good in the greenhouse, and since I moved it out here, for some reason it didn't like getting moved, and it stopped growing. So it probably just needs a little period of readjustment there. And my sickly looking variegated Pachyclata keeps on blooming. These leaves are pretty thin. This one is okay, but I think what I'm going to do after that bloom is I'm going to cut it up and check the roots. I think there's a root problem with that because it's been in that pot for at least 3 years, and it really hasn't grown that much. But I want to show you guys even the peduncle is variegated, which is quite interesting. And now let me show you the seed pods developing on this verticillata Pachyclata cross. Here's the big dad, and here is the verticillata. I cannot remember correctly, but I got this a long time ago. I'm talking about decades ago from a seller. I can't remember where, but the leaves are kind of like multi-tone. It's like almost, somebody sold it to me as variegated. That's how I had it labeled, but I wouldn't sell it as variegated. But as you can see, there's 2 tones of green on those leaves, and the peduncles are pretty green. I think I just spotted a little mealybug there that I need to spray for. So yeah, that is the seed pod from this cross. It's a verticillata crossed with this albomarginata Pachyclata. And over here there's more buds here on my David Comingii. He's doing really good. There's buds everywhere. So I'm excited about that one. And let's see back here. I haven't done much at all. I did another a show at Bella Plaza last weekend, as you guys, as I mentioned in the last video. So I haven't been really doing much around the yard. Just letting these things grow. We had a little sprinkle last weekend, but that was it. It hasn't rained here more than like 0.1 inch in the last like 2 months at least. It looks like all the rain went down to the Fort Lauderdale area. I was just made aware of all that flooding down there, and I sympathize for all those people that were affected by it. That's pretty horrible. I think they had 24 inches of rain in like an 8-hour period down into the Fort Lauderdale area. So those flowers I just showed you is AH733, and the leaf on this is quite interesting. It's pretty veiny, it's kind of waffly, it's pretty fragrant, smells like cut grass, like a really fresh scent. And yeah, the leaves do get pretty big. Let's see if I have a bigger one here to show you guys. So yeah, that leaf is like 8 inches long. So that's AH733. And this is one, I think this is my ERYTHRINA NARA. And she's in a 4-inch pot, so you can see like the pot is really small, and it's a pretty big plant. So Hoyas don't really need a lot of root system, so they do prefer to be in a smaller pot. And you can see you can get a lot of growth out of a 4-inch pot. It has bloomed for me last year, and hopefully it'll bloom for me again. And I think I'm going to take some cuttings off of it because it is getting, I think it's probably, you know, a meter over a yard long. So it definitely needs a little bit of a trim. It's putting out all these new growths from its side. So I think, let me show you a couple orchids. I did stop by Artstone when I need my orchid fix here in St. Petersburg. I go to my favorite orchid place in the west coast of Florida, which is Artstone Nursery. Wonderful people. It's a family-owned business for like over 50 years. And they have great orchids at excellent prices. So this is VOC Vita Lee crossed with Limelight. And she's pretty fragrant and very pretty. And then I have another orchid here that I bought. And this one I was told was from a local St. Petersburg or Tampa Bay area hybridizer. And this is like a mini Cattleya cross. And you can see like these are very small pseudobulbs for a Cattleya, and here's the parentage. So I don't know if you can read that. It's a it is a Cattleya Eclinde crossed with RLC Fiery Leopard crossed with RTH Martha Clark. So it's a pretty complex hybrid there, and I really like that orange, that burnt orange color and that lip and that really bright, see if you can focus on there, that really bright yellow center there. So I had to get it. It wasn't, this was $35, and if I wanted to divide this orchid, there's at least like 4 plants in there that I could divide and make some money on it if I do wish to do that. I do sell a lot of plants. I sell some orchids, but mostly Hoyas. I have a Facebook group called Rick and Swiffer's Hoyas, and you can check the link down in the description of this video. And you can join the group, and it's a fun group. And then you can see what Hoyas I have for sale. Some people call it icensis, and this guy has a bunch of peduncles, and this peduncle is on its way out. This is what the flowers look like before they drop. And that's been in bloom for like 5 days. And there's another bud. It's going to open up soon, and there's another one down there. Yeah, down here I have, over here hanging on this tree, I do have Hoya nuna. And then I have like this coronary. This is, I'm sorry, this is a Falziana, subspecies angulata. And the new leaf usually comes out like this really dark chocolate looking color, which is really fascinating. And that's the plant. When the leaves get a little mature, they turn to green, but they do keep that really lovely splash. And one more is this, I believe it is AH247. And here's the flowers. I did lose the tag on it, but I do recall it being AH247. If you guys think I'm wrong, please comment below and ID it for me. But it is quite beautiful. It has a little bit of like a Hoya vitellina scent, which I'm not really fond of, but it's a beautiful flower. Let me show you one more thing, and then we will get to the 26 Hoyas. And this Hoya, I think it was featured 2 videos ago in bloom, and it is going to bloom again. So these are really cool looking umbels there. These flowers are kind of like a wine purpley color. And this has 3 peduncles that just bloomed, not even, they were in bloom 2 weeks ago, and they're going at it again. Okay, now let me get to the 26 Hoyas, and this is going to be a little bit quick, or else this would be a really long video. So let me just start out over here with this very nicely splashed. So guys, I had to move up to my front porch because my neighbor was playing music in the backyard, and if YouTube picks up any music that it recognizes, it will stop your video from making any money whatsoever. So here I am in my front porch. It's actually not too bad. The lighting might be a little off, so I'll try to get closer to the plants so you guys can see them. So these are the 26 plants I'll be showing you today. And I'm going to be going through them rather quickly, because if I do spend a lot of time on each, it would take, you know, over an hour to do this video. So I do not want to put you guys through that torture. So let me just get through these Hoyas. And the first one I have for you is this Hoya Battleground that I just got from Nata at Hoyas in Thailand. And I really love it. It's really thick, and this is really kind of dark. These leaves are pretty like a dark maroon color. I suspect it's a verticillata or rigida type, but I do love the thickness and the color of the leaves, so it's one of my new favorites from Hoyas. And the next one is this Hoya CRASSIPETIOLATA Splash. As you can see, that leaf is really splashy. The splashing on a lot of these CRASSIPETIOLATAs, and I have another one, a different one to show you guys. It's quite beautiful. This one I got from Lily. It's Hoya tangamus. I had a big plant of this, but the cold weather, I left it outside and it got down to 33 degrees, and it did not like that at all. And it finally died on me. So, but this guy is well rooted and it's putting out new growth. So as you can see, it's quite beautiful. Hoya species tangamus. And this one I got from Nest. She sent me a cutting of this guy I had never heard of. It's Hoya unruhiana, as you can see on that tag. I have no idea what the flowers look like, but the leaves are a little bit elongated, maybe 2 inches long. This guy is well rooted and it's putting out new growth there. Let me move these guys to the back. Oh, one more thing about those, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are more ahead of the trends than I am. This is a jar. These are 2 jars from this yogurt called La Fermière. It's I guess it's a French yogurt, and you can buy it at, I think, at Target and at Whole Foods. I think it costs $3.40. A friend of mine gave me a jar, and they make great holders for smaller plants, especially for indoor growers or people that grow in cabinets. So those are the little jars. They're kind of cute, actually. The colors are very Easter-like. Let's start out here with some lacunosas. This is a very nicely variegated lacanosa. As you can see, it's growing pretty nicely. I got this one from ppplant.net, and you can contact the people there, and they have a great selection of EPC Hoyas and all kinds of really rare stuff, so check them out. This is a nicely variegated lacanosa. And this one is one of my Hoyas. It's called My Little Runaway. As you can see, it gets really tiny leaves. It's a Croniana lacanosa cross, or lacanosa. But it's called My Little Runaway because when I had it planted on the fence, it started growing into the neighbor's yard and actually grew and flowered on her side of the yard. So I had to go over there and to see its flower for the first time. That's My Little Runaway. And this is the other CRASSIPETIOLATA that gets really splashy. I believe some people call this the round leaf. Let me see if I can get a closer look at it. It is pretty splashy there. And I'm really excited because the new leaf is almost completely splash. Like at least 90%. So that one's a really cool one. And I got this one from Sarisa in Thailand. When I was there, I was just there a month ago, and I picked this up at when she was at the Bangkok International Exotic Plant Show there about a month ago. And this one is Hoya MA29. It's a cute little, very textured verticillata type Hoya. And I believe there's quite a few of these MA Hoyas. I have, I think, about 6 or 7 of them. And it's well rooted, and it looks like it's putting out new growth. And on to, this is a real experiment for me. I've had such bad luck growing Hoya undulata, and I've never rooted it in cocoa husk like I grow most of my Hoyas. But basically it's like these cocoa chunks, and I add a little bit of number 3 perlite. And I've never rooted an undulata on this, and this is my attempt. And I'll keep you guys updated to see if it roots. This has been in here a few days, so hopefully it'll root. The one that I showed on my last video looks the same. I did promise to show you guys every week on its progress, and I looked at it yesterday and it looks the same. So I will show it again next week, and you guys can see how it's doing. So this is Hoya undulata. It's getting a little messy here with all these plants. And this Hoya here I got from eBay, and see if I can pronounce it. I had a hard time pronouncing it the other day. It's Tang Chongensis. You can see the tag there. And the leaves do appear to be a little bigger than Serpens, and the texture is a little different, and the flowers are different from what I've seen online. So hopefully this will do better for me here in Florida, because Serpens doesn't really like me, and I've killed quite a few of them throughout my 20 years of growing Hoyas. I've never really had any success with it. So hopefully this guy will bloom for me and grow well. I think it has a peduncle there, as you can see. Yeah, it is a peduncle. So yeah, maybe by the end of the summer I'll have some flower pictures to share with you guys. And let's see over here. At one time, this Hoya was all the rage. It's Commingiana variegated. This particular plant that I got from Jack in Thailand is more, I would say it's like almost all completely albomarginata. And all the nodes on this plant that I rooted are all albomarginata instead of like a more variegated specimen that I had before. So that is Commingiana variegated or albomarginata. Let me start putting some back on the tray so they don't fall all over the place. And this is another one that I just got from Nata. It's a very deep maroon color, really quite beautiful. And the name on it, see if I can even pronounce it, is A.H. Black Bob, B-A-A-B-E-T, Babette. And I just stuck it a few days ago, so no roots yet. But you can see it's in my cocoa and number 3 perlite mix. And they really do well at rooting on this stuff. I root 90% of my plants on that. And I'm rooting this for a friend. It is Hoya Suricana. It has some of the most beautiful blooms in all of Hoyas. It's named after Sarisa, the fantastic hybridizer in Thailand. So that is Hoya Suricana, and I'll add the little picture so you guys can see the blooms. And let's go over here to, this one is not hard to find at all, but it's actually one of my favorite, especially if you do like Hoyas that do get splash, because the splash on this guy is so consistent. I've been growing it for years and years, and it's always splashy. And this is PARVIFLORA splash. There's a PARVIFLORA that doesn't get the little markings like that, but this one is always splashy. So guys, I went back to edit the video and I realized that I had missed all these Hoyas. I had forgotten to press the record button, and now it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It does appear to be a little brighter, which is nice. But I'll go through these really quickly because the video that I have is already 26 minutes, so I don't want to really drag out this video too long. So this Hoya is Hoya species Calbar, and I got it from Plantasmic. NARA is a really good Hoya seller and collector. And let me see if I can focus on this little guy. It's really cute. And it's really fuzzy. I don't know if you can see it. Focusing today is just a challenge. But yeah, the leaves are really fuzzy. The stems are really fuzzy. I haven't seen flowers on this, but I'm really looking forward to them. So Hoya species Calbar. That's a really pretty one. And this one is Hoya sigillatus Alice River. I really like this sigillatus variety because it really does sun stress beautifully. The leaves can get a little textured, and they're a lot smaller than most of the other sigillatus varieties that I have. So this is Hoya sigillatus Alice River. And like I said, I have to move through these a little quicker because the video will be over 40 minutes in no time. So this Hoya took me a while to root. As you can see, it's well rooted now. But this is that cotton bell that's been recently published as Hoya Medusae. The flowers are quite unique. See if I can find a flower picture to put on here. So yeah, I'm really excited that it's rooted, and hopefully it'll start growing pretty well because I've heard that it's really not a fussy grower. So I'm really excited to have this guy. The next Hoya is Hoya Little Plu from PP plant.net, and that's Dat and Jack's Hoyas, EPC. And you can see Little Pooh is really a beautiful Albert marginata type, and sometimes it does get, you know, these half moon leaves, which is quite cute. So it's named after his son, one of his sons, adorable Little Pooh. And the next Hoya I have for you is, this is Hoya NAP22. It's a verticillata type. And I love this Hoya because the leaves are a little bit like heart-shaped, and they get like this really nice burnt orange color, as you can see. And they get a lot more orange than this. And it really is a compact growing verticillata type, which is nice. And this is another one of the MA Hoyas. I showed you one earlier, I believe. And this is MA20. And this one is really cool because it's super splashy. You can see it's doing really well. Rooted nicely for me. And the new leaf here is also very splashy. And you can see that little baby leaf, which is nice. I didn't notice that before. So this is Hoya MA20. Okay, move this one out of the way. And I'm not sure if I showed you guys this one today, but this is Hoya Pitka or Finis Picta. And I had it in bloom, and I had it in my last video, so if you haven't seen that, check it out. This one is in this little cup here. It's well rooted, and it's putting out new growth in a bunch of spots. So it's going to be moved up to my 4-inch basket soon. And the next one is Hoya CORYMBOSA. And I have a couple of these. They do best in my terrarium, so I have them in there. I took this cutting recently to root, and hopefully it'll root for me. But yeah, it's one of the cooler, high humidity Hoyas that do best here in Florida, at least in my terrarium. It's way too hot here outside for growing this Hoya. And the next Hoya is Hoya hybrid by Sarisa in Thailand. And this is a Caryi cross ERYTHRINA. And I have it as, see if you can see the tag. I'm having a really hard time focusing today. I don't know why. But maybe because the sun's coming in from that direction. It's SS007-21. It's really textured leaf. It's kind of round. It has like this nice green, lime green color. As you can see, the veining is really cool looking. And I took another cutting with 2 nodes, and that one's about to bloom. So I will have bloom pictures to share with that, to share with you guys on this seedling Hoya that I got. Oh, and this one is the Hoya Gungatten Borneo Silver. That's the name that it's going by. See if I can focus better on it. It's really gorgeous. And that new leaf there came in with like almost a half moon, which is quite interesting. But where I'm excited, see if I can focus good on there, is this new leaf that's coming in, and it's almost full splash. And really shows out those veins really well. It's really, really, really gorgeous Hoya, and it's really doing well for me. And I'm so happy that it's continuing. It's a really nice splash, because sometimes when you move these splashy Hoyas into a new environment and new light condition, they can lose some of that splash. But apparently this is a pretty stable splashy Gungatten Borneo. And I think I'm done, down to 3. This is Hoya Paradisea. It's really beautiful. The leaves are not that impressive, but the flowers on this thing are really quite beautiful, and I'll put them on the screen for you guys to see. That's the Paradiseea. And this one was from my friend Elle in Texas. She gifted me this Pixoniae. It's one of those Bella and Glariana Hoya types that do not like Florida. For me, particularly, they usually they come really nice and they die. So what I did with this one is I put it in my terrarium, and it really likes it in there. It has like constant 72 degrees, 72 to 75 degrees, and a constant humidity of like 80%. So it really, really does like that. And, you know, I'm really excited. I think it might even, I might even get to bloom it in that. What is wrong with my focusing today? So yeah, this is only grows well for me in the terrarium. So that's where it lives. And it has 2 nice growth points, and hopefully I will get bloom pictures to share with you guys one day. And the last one is, what this guy likes to tip over. This guy is a new hybrid, new released hybrid from Sarisa in Thailand. But it is SS3903, and she named it after her friend. I believe that's pronounced Ayu. And it is one of the most beautiful Hoya blooms I've ever seen. And I really, really thank people for taking time to watching my videos. I know today's world, everyone is so busy doing their thing, and when somebody takes, 20, 30 minutes to sit down and watch my videos, I feel so grateful, and I really appreciate all my viewers and subscribers. So until next week, have a great weekend, and I hope to see you then. Bye-bye.